I'm driving to my mother's house as we speak because after growing it for almost 20 long years, I'm finally ready to cut my hair off. Listen, I don't know, man. I just been feeling like it's time. But let's get the most obvious question out of the way. Why the hell should you care?
These are dreadlocks that I started in 2009. But even this is after many years of having long hair. I love having long hair dearly, but I think it's time for a change. Now, there are a few reasons influencing this very difficult decision. I've got tired of the upkeep and no longer like the way it looks, which is my own fault, but I mean, just look at this mess. But most importantly,
dreads just aren't as unique of a hairstyle as they used to be. Now, this is a pretty sentimental video for me because I tried recording this a few times, but every time that I go to the mirror, my emotions get the best of me and I always back out. And so I went all the way back to where this journey began to get a little emotional support.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
So you know how I've been talking about cutting my hair for a while now?
Yes.
Okay, well, right here, right now, today, I want to cut my hair off. And I came all the way back to where it all began for emotional support. Are you willing to cut off my lockers?
I absolutely am willing to cut off your lockers.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna start low.
but wait, before I do what's probably the closest thing I'll ever be able to do to a face reveal.
Y'all mind if I take a sip of that nostalgia juice first?
When I was younger, most of my community were inspired by figures like Tupac and Michael Jordan, while I was inspired by Cloud and Goku. Let me be clear, I was a closeted weeb, but I mean, could you blame me?
I turn on Adult Swim, there's a bunch of badass Japanese characters with spiky hair. I turn on my game console, there's a bunch of badass Japanese characters with spiky hair. I go play trading card games with the boys, and there's a bunch of badass Japanese characters with spiky hair. There was no doubt in my mind that I wanted my hair to be as long and as spiky as possible. Those silhouettes, man. But see, here's the thing. Long hair, especially in urban communities, was a very unpopular thing for dudes. I was called nearly every homophobic slur you can possibly imagine back then, because the expectation at that time for black people hair was either short, afro, or bald. Well, a bald kid would have been a little weird, but you get what I'm saying. But long hair helped me feel unique and like a badass going against the grain. And in 2009, hey pup, it's gonna ruin my shot, huh? Fuck it, we ball. Dreads were starting to gain some popularity. I think this was largely due to the rapper Lil Wayne making them popular, but this seemed like the perfect way to get everything that I wanted. Long hair, spiky, and uncommon hairstyle? Sign me up. And it might be hard to imagine today, but dreads were very unpopular. You'd mostly see this hairstyle on skater/surfer types, and things people would tell me would be, ew, dreads, they're dirty and stinky. No one will ever date or hire you with dreads. Why do you want to look homeless? And none of these are true, except maybe I do look a little homeless at times, but sometimes you just gotta hit them with that homeless chic. You know what I'm saying? I know one of you watching this knows what I'm saying. Anywho, we live in a very different world now, and dreads are so accepted and common now that at this point I kind of expect not only my brothers, but even my sisters to pull up rocking dreads to corporate events, and I love that. However, I've always had this cringe trait where I want to be different from the grain. I want to stand out and be unique and make my own choices, and so I think it's time for me to finally move on. There have been so many new interesting black hairstyles discovered and experimented with since I got dreads in 2009, and I want to play with some of it. Besides, it looks like my hairline might have started the Great Recession, and though Lil Wayne might have introduced me to the Great Dreads Battle of the 2010s, I refuse to follow him into this fight. But I will admit, I am very nervous for how much cutting my hair is just going to completely change my aura. But there's no backing out now because I'm already at my mom's house and in the barber's seat.
But yo, real quick, after I chop all of my hair off, I'm gonna need to add a barber into my life. And with that, I'm gonna need to become a lot more organized.
Too many missed barber appointments, and I might end up looking like this again. So thank God for today's sponsor, Notion Mail. Have you heard of the email meme called Inbox Zero? It's basically when your inbox has 0 unread emails.
Which in this day and age is near impossible. For example,
I was in San Francisco a couple years back, and I tried this burger spot. It was honestly a really good burger, but question for you.
why do they send me 2 to 3 emails a week? They don't even have a spot within some 500 miles of me. And this is why Notion Mail is such a breath of fresh air, because they're giving us the tools to make Inbox Zero actually possible.
My favorite feature is auto label, because sure, you can manually label emails like a commoner, or you can simply describe the type of label that you want. Then you can choose to split, which will split all relevant emails into its own inbox, or if you're a psycho, keep in inbox and just add a label. And boom, all fast food promos are now routed to their own inbox that I'll never check.
But there's more about it that I love.
Notion Mail introduces the Notion syntax into emails, which is great because as a Notion super user for many years now, I put that shit on everything. It has an AI assistant to help draft emails,
But for my #1 favorite Notion Mail feature,
it connects to your existing email, so you can auto-label years of existing mail. And this surprisingly surfaced an email I forgot about from an old boss firing me in my early 20s.
good times.
So if you're like me and want a breath of fresh air when it comes to email management, head over to the link on screen and in the description to get started. But now, it's finally time to confront my fears.
All right, Mom, this is it. You were the one who gave me my initial dreads, and
Do you remember how old?
I was 18, I think.
Take a breather. You want to say goodbye to them? You want to have a conversation?
I've already made my peace with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's time.
All right. You want to give me some love? You're gonna be okay.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support.
I got you.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be happy.
I hope so.
Over the next 20 or 30 minutes, we just cut off all my lockers. And I had to put on blindfolds because watching this was painful.
Are we almost done?
Yeah, we are.
Okay,
It's the last few. 2 and the last one. That's it.
That's it? Okay. Oh
What
my
a nice
god.
little afro.
Oh my god, I'm so afraid. Okay, here we go, Here we go. Oh my god.
Looks great.
Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You look great. How do you feel?
I honestly don't know yet. I mean, I feel like the same person. Oh, my hairline
It's not
maintained.
bad, yeah. So I was a little worried. I was like, you might have to go bald.
But cutting my hair didn't stop there because I was looking for a full reset, meaning short hair. So, are you ready for the official reveal? Ta-da! So, my thoughts. I do not like my hair in its current state. I honestly think that my head is a little too round for hair this short. I might need to hit the weight room or something, but I'm gonna play around with it. Also, fun fact, I didn't anticipate just how cold my head would be all the time. With just the slightest breeze, I'm reaching for the Hacks beanie. You know I keep that thing on me. So, what's next? I'm not entirely sure. Who knows? I might hate short hair so much that I just grow dreads again next month. But on the grand scheme of things, who really cares? It's just hair. It's not gonna stop me from making more videos or working on coding projects and whatnot. So that's the end of this video. Thanks to Notion Mail for sponsoring. Links are in the description, and I'll see you on the next.